I'm on my way to get some bread right now. I found out that this tradition helps me cut my spiral like nothing else. But don't worry, I will explain after we've got some bread.
Hola, buenas tardes.
So, in Mexico, there's this thing called pan pal susto, or bread for the scare. It's a tradition where people buy a piece of bread when something scary happens, when they were almost in a crash, they were in a fight, something scared them, something shook them. And they go out, they buy a piece of bread, and they eat it. And at least for me, I figured out why that is. Like how that works, because they do that also, like in scary situations. I think it's for like the communal part of it, because it's something you do together. You go out, you buy a piece of bread, and you'll probably meet people on the way that either do the same, or they're just going for a walk, or they're just out to do something, whatever it is, but you meet people. And then when you're in the bakery, you at least have to talk to one person, and that's whoever sells you the bread. That can be a small interaction, like, hey, how you doing? It's this going out of your way, out of wherever you've been, deliberately on a small journey to buy bread that breaks this spiral. I think it's a little bit similar to what we do after a funeral. Because during a funeral, we're crying, we're like super emotional. And after the funeral, we go somewhere else to eat, drink, tell stories, tell jokes, laugh, basically party. And there's nobody there that tells us to do that. Like, hey, laugh now, tell a joke, whatever. No, we do that as a coping mechanism, as something to remind ourselves that there's fun, especially when we tell funny stories about whoever just passed, We cope as a community, as a group in this small tradition. And I understood that for myself for the first time, actually, just a couple of weeks back when there was this earthquake here. The alarm went off at like 8 a.m. at a Saturday. I was still asleep. Literally, it sounded like an alien abduction. Really, just Google Mexican earthquake alarm sound and you will know what I mean. Definitely woke me up. And I just grabbed our cat from the bed, put on the rope, put on slippers, went downstairs. My wife was already there. We went outside. Trees were moving. The street lamp was moving, everything was moving, and we just looked around and there were our neighbors, and we all stood there together and like checked in on ourselves, like on each other. Small nod, like, hey, you good? Like, yeah, everything fine, we're good. When it was over, went back inside, got dressed. My wife told me, like, you know what we're gonna do? Let's grab a piece of bread. And we did that. We went there, we took a small walk. For me, it broke the spiral, the what if spiral. Like, what if it would have been worse? What if something broke? What if we couldn't find our cat and she was there while, I don't know, the roof collapses, whatever. Like this all what if catastrophizing, it just poof and vanished. I didn't actively did anything. I didn't even thought about it anymore. And that was kind of the point, I feel, because you go out to do that. You go out to buy bread because that's what you do in this type of situations. It's works because it brings you out of this physical place where you've been before and out of this mental place where you've been. And also it works because people do it and it works for them. And you're not alone when you do it. It's like this whole new understanding just happened to me. And I do love this observation. I love finding out new things in a culture and new ways how people cope with the stuff. It really made me feel more at home, to be honest, because I realized, okay, this helps for these type of situations. Maybe it can help for something else, because we are way more alone than we've ever been. Like with home office, with school from home, with everything. We're way more isolated than we've ever been. And I think finding like a small ritual that grounds yourself, that puts you out there, that makes you communicate, that makes you feel like you're part of a community is worth it. And it could be anything that makes you go outside. Anything that breaks you free spiraling in the long run. Think of it. Like, what could that be for you? It could be going out buying a bread. Could be a pan pal susto. Could be having a coffee with a friend. Having a quick phone call. It could be after the gym, after you always been to the same spinning class. Maybe just have a conversation with somebody that's always next to you after the class, checking in. I think if you do these small rituals, you will feel way more connected to the people around you, to the people you do things with. At least for me, feeling less gloomy, because all the things you keep spiraling about, once you're out with people, suddenly they're not so bad. Or you realize, oh, that was actually nothing I spiraled about for like 2 days. It's human connection, like real human connection. That's why it works. For me. I think that's why these small rituals work. I hope you love this video. It's a little bit different. I don't know. I just thought it's a very interesting and cool thing to observe and to incorporate into my life, and I wanted to share that with you. So thank you so much for being part of this small community. Hope you have a wonderful day, and see you next time. Take care.